Hey, hi, hello. That's the trademark every episode. If you're a follower, you know that. Today, got a very special guest.
The Ted Boss.
Ted Boss, my good friend from high school. Almost like a brother at this point, I would say. He probably disagrees.
More like a lover, I'd say.
Teddy is here from Georgia.
Yeah, recently graduated college, ROTC commissioned as an officer into the active duty infantry. So I'm down in Columbus, Georgia, Fort Moore, doing my basic officer training just back on the Christmas leave. It's going well.
Yeah.
It's going to ramp up when I get back, though, for sure. We're only like 5 weeks in. Haven't really done much. People ask me, what have you been doing? Not much.
Gaming and hanging out.
A lot of breaks.
Yeah.
I think I entered active duty November 7th, and then we had a 4-day weekend November 8th because of Veterans Day.
Oh, wow.
So just immediately a break, Thanksgiving, Christmas. A lot of breaks, so not too much going on.
So I know that this has been kind of a goal of yours for a long time. Like, you've always been a military guy. Is this exactly how you thought it would play out, or what's caught you off guard about the military?
No, I mean, this is kind of how I thought it would play out. I mean, I guess obviously I expected certain things about the military that like aren't true. Like, I don't know, I guess when you're a kid, you like think you're going to be doing awesome stuff all the time, but that's like 1% of it, or 99% of it you're doing admin garbage, and it's just a job, like administrative garbage.
Got it.
Paperwork, just like sitting around doing nothing really.
So not
there is some time wasting, but I guess it's necessary.
So not every day looks like Top Gun Maverick.
No, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, wanted to do this since I was a kid. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Like, I knew I wanted to join. Obviously, you grow up, you're like, oh, I'm going to be a Navy SEAL, Green Beret. And then you get closer to high school, and I was like, okay, I'll look at West Point. And then it came time to actually apply for West Point, like junior, senior year. You need to do all this stuff, get a congressional nomination.
Oh, geez.
And I was like kind of debating it because I didn't really want to do all the work for it. And then Chris Collins got indicted for insider trading.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would have had to petition him to be like, he would have to nominate me to go to West Point. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's the straw that broke the camel's back with the West Point application.
Yeah.
So then I just went the ROTC route, got to be a normal college student with the ROTC is a joke, honestly. It's not hard. You do like a class twice a week and then a 2-hour lab.
For those that aren't aware, what is ROTC?
It's the Reserve Officer Training Corps. It's basically, there's 3 ways to commission as an officer in the Army. There's West Point, like a military academy, where you're doing Army all day, every day, like uniforms, the whole 9 yards. Kind of sucks. And then ROTC, you're just a normal college student getting your degree and then doing some Army stuff on the side. And then there's Officer Candidate School, which is like you already have your master, or you already have your degree, and you go to like a 8-week basic training type deal. But at the end of it, you commission, and then that's that.
Okay. Cool. Well, I remember we actually went to your, was it swearing in? What are they?
My commissioning.
Your commissioning?
Yeah.
That was cool. I've never seen a ceremony like that.
Yeah, it's pretty fire.
It was pretty cool. And there's actually a picture. We'll throw it up.
You'll throw up the picture.
We'll throw up the picture somewhere in the podcast for those who are watching. But how it was that happened in May, and then it was late October you moved to Georgia, right?
Yeah, so you get like in ROTC, you get like racked and stacked amongst every cadet in the whole United States, and then they base that, at least what they told us was the higher you are, the like earlier you go, but like that didn't turn out to be true. But basically once you commission, you'll get your orders, your official Army orders, like, okay, you have to report here on this day for this. If you don't, like, you're going to get arrested basically. So that, I just got to sit around until November when I had to report.
Yeah, I think that's the longest amount of time you've been home since what, high school?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. which was nice. It was nice to actually be able to like do things and hang out and
Yeah.
catch up.
It's definitely nice to sit around and like work and then like get physically prepped because like it is taxing. Where like I had a friend, she had to report in June, like early June, and we obviously graduated in like the middle of May.
Mm-hmm. Oh
So
yeah, I think you mentioned that.
That's like a 3-week turnaround,
That
which
sucks.
just sucks.
That
Yeah.
sucks
It's
big time.
brutal.
Yeah.
You get a chance to settle
And then
in
you're
and
down
everything.
there and it's like 120 degrees in the summer where like it's freezing down there now, like out in the like when you're out in the woods at night, it's cold, but I'd rather kind of be cold than sweating.
Oh, this is the guy here. I don't know if I've talked about on the podcast that inspired me to do the 4-4-48 because this guy did the 4-4-48. Was it earlier this year?
Yeah.
In like February, yeah, I did it.
February. Yeah. So if I don't know if I've talked about it before, but it's 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours, and it sucks. But he inspired me to do it. And then Teddy, you recently did an ultra marathon.
That's right.
What was that all about? And I think you talked about it a little bit, but like just the training, the experience.
Yeah,
What was
well,
that
the
all
reason I
about?
wanted to do it was because like there's some guys in ROTC that a dude that had did 100 miles, and like when you're surrounded by people that are like pushing themselves like that, it's like okay, well. And I went to his race to help pace him, and I did a lap, and like you do 12 miles, and other people are doing 100. You're like, well, I kind of wish I was doing this. Like I feel
Yeah.
lazy. So then I had all the time in the summer, and one of those guys had signed up for the 100K that I did, so 62 miles. And I was like, shit, like, I'll sign up for this. I got nothing to do, and it'll get me in the mood, or like it'll force me to
it'll keep you
start training a
Yeah.
lot. Because like when you have 6 months, you're like, oh, I'll push it off another month. But that got me in the training mood. So then started training for that a bunch, adding on mileage each week. I did the Buffalo Marathon, but I hadn't signed up for the Ultra at that point. I really only started taking running seriously in like January, end of January
Yeah.
of this year. So then, yeah, we just trained up for the Ultra and ripped it one day.
You've done the Spartan
Worked an
races too,
ultra.
right?
Yeah, I did those Spartan races. I'd done a Tough Mudder probably in like 2021-ish, did a Tough Mudder. And then I think my New Year's resolution for 2022 was like, oh, I wanted to do the Spartan trifecta. Like there's 3 basic Spartan races. And if you do all 3 of them in a year, you get like a extra medal. And I was like, oh, I want to do that. It's kind of cool.
For those that
then-
aren't aware, what is a Spartan race? Like what is
Just
it?
an
entail?
obstacle course race. Same with the Tough Mudder. They're both obstacle course races. So it'll be any distance. I think they had like a 5K, 10K, and then a half. And you're just doing like various obstacles. So climb over this, like go through this mud pit, jump in the ice water, and then do the monkey bars type of thing. And that just, you'll encounter that throughout the race.
Got it.
I'd do those again, but like I'd rather just kind of do like marathons or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
But-
signing up for the marathon in May, the Buffalo Marathon this
Oh
year.
yeah. Oh yeah.
This guy,
Sub 4 hours.
yeah,
gotta get it.
the goal is 3.5. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna start meal prepping heavy and
Yeah.
training more and more. But
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like what you mentioned earlier with being around people that are actually going to push you and do things. We've talked about that kind of extensively on this
Yeah.
podcast so far, and it's very, very important. I don't think Drew would be doing a marathon if it wasn't for you running 100K.
nah,
You know,
the
Yeah.
4-4-48. Like I remember people are like, "Why are
Yeah.
you doing this? Why are you waking up at 4 a.m. to run 4 miles?" I'm like, "'Cause I
Yeah.
have to."
Yeah.
Teddy will
'Cause it
kill me if I
sucks.
don't.
Or like there's always somebody that's like better than me.
Always
Like,
a bigger fish.
I'm like so mid at just like all this stuff compared to like some people I know.
Oh yeah, there's always
So
going to
it's
be a
like
bigger
you always
fish.
just want to keep pushing yourself to be better, even though like, oh my God, you ran an ultra marathon, like 1% of the 1%. It's like 1% of people, less than 1% run a marathon, and then it's like 1% of that run an ultra. But then
Ultras are crazy.
for
dude.
me, it's just like, oh, running an ultra is the standard.
It's the next step.
It's
'Cause,
funny
like-
when you're around people like that. That's just how it is. And then you like look behind you, you're like, oh, no one else is doing this. It's just
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is insane. I was like, I got a friend who's running an ultra marathon in the woods at night. People are like, what? Are
Yeah.
you friends with David Goggins? I'm like, no, it's just.
I think I remember telling somebody that I'm like, yeah, my buddy just ran an ultra, 100K, 62 miles. Like, how many days did it take him? I'm like, it took him 17 hours. So like huh? He did that in one day? I'm like, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and then like the buddy that I'm there with won it and did it in like 12 hours.
That-
and I'm like,
it's ludicrous, dude.
yeah. I mean,
It's bonkers.
I wasn't trying. I just wanted to finish it. So I like 4 miles in, I had to like take a crap. So I had to run in the woods and take a crap. And then I was feeling good. It was 2 31-mile loops, was feeling good. Hit the 31-mile mark, probably like 6 or 7 hours in. Rested a little bit. And then when I took off after that, that's when like I really started to hurt. Like my feet were really bad. My knees and everything weren't bad, but it was my feet. And then it was 15 more miles until I like got to the next aid station where I could see my dad and he could like bring me more stuff. So when I got to like hobbled into that aid station like hours later, I was super down in the dumps. I was like, this sucks. I mean, I was at mile 44 at that point.
So you still got like what, almost 20 miles?
It was mile 31 to 44 where I was like, I'm gonna
dude.
throw myself off this cliff. Like,
You still got 20
sucks.
more miles.
Yeah, that's what I think it was. It was like I was starting and was still hurting, and I was like, oh, I have 28 more miles to go. I have 27. Like, just an obscene amount of miles to go.
I'm training for 26.2, and that's like the race. And that's even kind of
honestly,
crazy. But dude, friggin' 62 is insane.
I felt way worse after the Buffalo Marathon than the
Really?
Ultra. I think maybe because I trained up so much for the Ultra, and like I'd been running a lot more. Obviously, I had done a couple marathons at that point. And I think it's just a different train up too, where like the Buffalo Marathon, I'm trying to cook at like 8:30 pace the whole time.
Yeah.
Where by the end of the Ultra, I'm doing like 18-minute miles.
Yeah, you're
Just walking
basically
through the
walking.
woods.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing at then. Because my feet hurt so bad when I got to that halfway point on the second loop, popped a bunch of Advil, started off again. I was like, I feel great. Because I think maybe there was also a mental switch where I was like, I knew I was going to finish now.
Yeah, I think
So I
half
was
this
just-
mental.
Yeah, I was just striding through. Didn't see anybody for a couple hours in like the pitch black.
Jeez.
My phone was about to die, but I got like 30 minutes of Creed playing on the phone.
Hold me down.
Yeah, there's a video I think I could send in. You could throw it up there.
Yeah, we'll put it in.
Dude, that's crazy. I don't listen to music when I run. I never have. Like the 4:48 the whole time, it was just me and like
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
like I did a 10-mile run and 2 half marathons in October. None of them I had music on. Just running. Like
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know. Like I just I don't think I have like 2 hours of music I can listen to straight. It's like an extra thing I got to worry
For
about.
the Buffalo Marathon, my plan wasn't I wasn't gonna listen to music until like a halfway point because my phone probably was gonna die and like wasn't gonna last the full time.
Mm-hmm.
So then I take my phone out at the halfway point, and it had like been in my pocket or in my like pouch, like trying to like the code was like getting hit. So then it was disabled for like another hour.
Oh
and I
my
was like,
goodness.
oh God. So then I didn't get any music until mile 20.
Jeez.
I heard for marathons, it's like half of the race is like 23 miles, and then the other half is the last 3. If the last 3 miles are
dude,
brutal.
it was bad. I struggled a little bit from like miles 15 to 18, and then I had like a boost until mile 22, but then mile 22 to 26 was like
I heard it's brutal.
terrible.
Dude. Yeah, we were doing it was a half marathon, although I ended up running about 16 miles in October. That last mile, dude, like it felt as long as the rest of the race. It was insane. I'm like, where is this mile marker? Like, somebody, please.
Yeah.
It's friggin' brutal, dude.
Now, kind of on the subject too that we were just talking about of surrounding yourself with good people. One thing I did want to mention, one thing that I really do admire about you, Teddy, is that you're always looking for more knowledge on things. You're a big book reader. I know that. You love your books, but you're also somebody who's always asking questions. Like, even if you don't care about what we're talking about or like what I do for work or something, you're always asking and asking and asking. Has that always been the way you were? Like, have you always been that kind of proactive? Like, I want to know more about what's going on?
Probably not. I'd say probably picked that up like through high school into college. I used to hate reading. I was never really a big reader, but then I started reading a lot in college, not necessarily for the classes I was taking, but but just for fun because my roommate started reading a lot for fun. And then I normally switch between like military leadership type books, like David Goggins type books. And then like you can only read so many of those.
Yeah, right.
and like in a row. So then I'll switch it up with some fiction, which I really like.
Do you find with those leadership books, I know like, I just know David, I've read David, well, I listened to David Goggins' book, but do you find that a lot of the stuff he says is good, or do you find that a lot of it's kind of like some gobbledygook and then there's some like good stuff to take from it?
I think there is a lot of good stuff that he says specifically with him, but then like you also
Just
read
that
his book.
sphere in general.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of good stuff to take, but obviously with certain people like Goggins specifically, like they don't always seem like the best team player. And he said that himself in his book, where like you're a leader, you're trying to create a cohesive team, and Goggins was all about just kind of himself.
Yeah, his first book, he talks about that all the time.
Yeah,
it's just like he was against himself the whole time, and that was
so there's a way you need to like walk that line of pushing yourself, but also building a team and make sure everyone doesn't hate you.
There's those there's those videos that go around on Instagram where it's like they'll stitch a video of like some girl saying that she wants to like give you a hug, and then it gets like a hard cut like you've made no progress. You're a piece of crap. Get back to work.
Yeah, I think that there's bad actors in the sphere, and I think that some people maybe take it a little too seriously. But
what do you think about those kinds of videos? Because I think that's shame porn.
I know I think we've talked about this before. I kind of like those videos.
I
think they kind of fire me up. We're like,
I think the idea is good, but the execution is bad.
Yeah, the what I draw from that video is not like, don't be happy, don't get a girlfriend, but like for the guy who's like maybe pining after some girl that doesn't like him or is still sad about his ex that like cheated on him or something, maybe like that could like wake the guy up or something. Like be like, okay, let me lock in, like forget her, forget it all, like I
think it's more about the consumer. Who's consuming the content.
You guys got to get on the reading grind, though.
I actually have been reading a book. I've been reading a book lately. It's about rental properties, though, so it's not necessarily military.
Yay.
Come on.
Get a good fiction. This guy, I gave him great recommendation, No Country for Old Men. Has he finished it?
No. I'm about halfway.
See, the thing is, though, and this is kind of on me, when I think of fiction, I think of like wizards and dragons and stuff. Like,
oh, yeah, you're getting into like the sci-fi.
Yeah, like
which I could get behind a good sci-fi book.
I don't know. Like it's not even sci-fi. I feel like that's just I don't know what it is. But when I think of fiction, I don't think of like a good story. I just kind of think of like dragons and dungeons and castles and wizards and warlocks.
And that's why you're an idiot. And refuse to play Red Dead Redemption 2.
Kind of like those people that yell at you and say that you're an idiot because you're not grinding hard enough. Comment-tary. But yeah, Teddy, I did want to ask you about that because, like I said, I think the execution is just so poor with those videos. Like I said, I think it's just shame porn. People are like, "Yeah, I'm not good enough." But I do agree. Like some folks just gotta lock it in, and I think those videos, like that's what they're trying to say is like, snap out of it, stop thinking about women all the time. Like,
for context, Drew's talking about those videos on Instagram or TikTok where it's like David Goggins or Grant Cardone or
you've made zero progress.
Some of those guys are bozos, like that Andy Elliott guy who wears tight pants.
Yeah, that guy's an idiot.
Talks about how you're a loser salesman because you don't sell cars the way he sells.
If I make $400K in a month, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, it's like, give me a break. But there's a line between people giving good advice from like their life. I think David Goggins is a good example. Like the dude's lived a hard life. The guy has done lots of cool things, and that's where he's coming from, this kind of intense personality.
Yeah.
But there's no like course attached to the end of it. He's not trying to get you to feel bad about yourself so you buy his products. He's just saying, lock in, you're fat. All right, easy enough.
Yeah,
that makes sense. But it's not, I've seen a lot of videos where it's like, I was a felon and now I make $3K every minute with this drop shipping business, and I can teach you all how to do it because you're an idiot and you don't make enough and you'll never get a wife. And it's like, oh, like, come on. Like,
that's not cool.
What do you think, Teddy, about the whole talk of like the high value woman, high value man stuff? I feel like it's like way out of proportion.
I don't even know what that is. Like,
Yeah, you have to describe
is
that a
that?
little bit.
I don't see a lot of it anymore, but I feel like for a while on Instagram, it was people like barking at you on reels saying that you're not a high value man because you don't make like enough money or you don't drive a specific car, and you'll never catch a high value woman because you're not a high value man.
yeah, that's just dumb.
You know what I mean? And then it's like you need to get all this stuff done first and then pursue that.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
people that are just constantly chasing the bag, chasing money. It's like, oh, money, money, money. Like, dude, no one cares.
No one cares.
Like, I'm gonna do something fulfilling with my job and live a good life. Like, I don't need to make a zillion dollars to be happy at the end of the day. And you don't need to make a zillion dollars to find a girlfriend.
I mean, yeah, I feel like there's always this large stigma put on specifically relationships, because I feel like that's where a lot of insecurity lies for people. And that's a big driver of the hustle industry is relationships and finding, it's more or less women, because there's not a lot of women looking for men in that sphere. But you make people feel bad about that and tell them they need to buy your course, start drop shipping, make this money, drive this car, and then find the girl. Good news, we have a course for that too. So you can buy the course to find the girl. And it's this giant rabbit hole, and it's very exhausting.
Yeah, and the dudes that are selling the course are probably like a scumbag. What's his name? Dan Bilzerian.
Oh God,
that dude's a dirtbag.
Oh God,
Oh, is he like the British guy?
No,
hasn't he gotten in trouble like with the law?
Yeah, he's like a gambling. Like he's made his money gambling or something. Like he tries to say he's a Navy SEAL or something, but he's not. And I don't know. He's like, I had 7 girlfriends at once. And then now I don't think he's like that anymore. That's what he says. But I guess he's selling a course on how to get a girlfriend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Let's check it out.
I think dating courses are the most pathetic thing we've come up with.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
and all they all say
Besides
the
Coach
same
Corey
thing.
Wayne, how to be a 3% man.
Shout out, Corey Wayne. If you're listening.
Yeah, come on our podcast, please.
I don't know if I ever told. I definitely told you about this at some point. But there's a YouTuber that I used to watch a lot, and he had some sort of like dating program. I wasn't interested in it. I just kind of wanted to see if I could talk to the YouTuber that I watch all the time. So I like inquired about it. I filled out some sort of Google form, and a couple days later, I got a call from somebody that works for him. So the plan didn't work, unfortunately. And I'm talking to this guy, and he's telling me he's like asking me questions. He's like, do you feel insecure about this? Like, are you afraid? I'm like, no, look, dude, I just want to talk to Dave. Like, I don't care about the course. But I was kind of giving him, just kind of half-assed answers. That way we could just get through the conversation. And he finally got to the end where he's talking about the course. He's like, so the course starts at $3,000. I'm like, $3,000. I was like, look, brother, you seem really nice. You give me $3,000, I'll talk to anybody you point to. Like, I don't need you to tell me how to talk to people. But that's like probably on the low end of what these courses cost. And I've seen in the book I'm reading about rental properties, he's talking about like these fake gurus that are saying like, if you do this, you could be a gazillionaire and it's super easy and everybody can do it. And some of these workshops or retreats or whatever cost like $50,000.
Yep.
It's insane.
It's insane. And you could go on YouTube and get all the same information.
There's a lot of military, like ex-military guys. There'll be some like Navy SEAL guy. They're like, we're going to run you through like mock budge training. And they get all these civilian bozos to pay them $20,000 for a 3-day boot camp where they get sprayed with hoses and like
I've seen those.
and
I
yelled
have
at.
seen those.
And then, but when you graduate, you're part of a brotherhood. It's
Yeah.
like, just go enlist and join the
You
brotherhood
could talk
for
to any
free.
woman you want.
Or
You'll
just
make
go
six
get like a
figures.
gym membership,
Like
dude.
people are going to like fake ranger schools for like 4 days. Like just go to real ranger school for free and get paid to go there.
Yeah.
Like,
and have like actual benefits tied to it.
Now, the good news is that I think half my friends, including you, Teddy, have good relationships and girlfriends, and none of them make 6 figures. Funny enough.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So it turns out you don't need to make 6 figures to have a girlfriend. That's kind of cool. So anybody out there who's thinking about buying a course for $30,000, please don't.
Just don't do it.
Pay us $30,000. You can come on the podcast and talk to
you don't even need to be confident to get a girlfriend. You could just sit around and just do nothing until they get so frustrated that you're not asking them out that they say something to you.
Teddy,
That's how I got a girlfriend.
This sounds like you've experienced
I
this
remember,
before.
Teddy,
That's
I remember
exactly
when you
what's
asked,
happened to me.
I remember when you asked Caroline out. Shout out Caroline. That's the name of Teddy's girlfriend. But anyways, you text me. You're like, dude, I did it. I'm like, you did? He's
I
like,
was tweaking.
you're like, dude, that was so bad. It sounded
It was
like
brutal.
You're like, it sounded like a business transaction. I should have shook her hand
All right,
afterwards.
Teddy, talk about it.
No, dude, it was bad. I like put my arm on her shoulder. It was super awkward because I was like, she was about to leave, and I was like, wait.
Right
Arm
out
on
of
the
the
shoulder.
movie,
It was
Hang
like,
on, my lady.
was like, so we've been going out for 2 months. Let's make it official. Like, it was horrid.
Hello, princess.
Hello, princess. We've been going out for 2 months, princess.
Yeah, but just, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
It's that easy.
It's that easy. So anybody out there who, like I said,
What course did you buy, Teddy? How'd you do that?
yeah, what course did you buy? Anybody who's gonna drop even if it's $100 on a course, give us $100 and we'll have you on the podcast. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
It'll be productive.
Just talk to him, bro. Just talk to a woman. I think that's the easiest way to do it.
Went from
Yeah.
Dan Bilzerian to getting a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, but also don't get a girlfriend because if you get one, you're not locking it in and you're a piece of crap and you need to grind harder.
True.
But also if you don't get a girlfriend, you're not grinding hard enough. So, yeah.
It's a catch-22.
It is.
You never
Can't
win.
win.
All right. I think it's time to take some off the table.
Off the table. Get it on.
All right. We're good.
So you guys texted me. Had to think about this.
Yep.
I'm taking the Costco family off the table.
The Costco guys?
Yeah.
I have
The
to
family. The
I-
whole family.
I have to agree.
So I think we should probably explain to anybody who's not. I mean, I can't imagine people are unaware. But
Everybody knows who the Costco guys are.
But for those who maybe aren't, we just got to give a quick.
I've
lore dump real
interacted
quick.
with some people that don't know the Costco family, and
Are there better people for it?
Are they
I don't
happier
know,
people?
but like you try to like talk to them because it's kind of funny and like it's stupid, but then they're like, yeah, I have no idea, and you just kind of walk away upset.
So for those who aren't aware, the Costco guys, from what I'm aware of, it's a dad and a son, Big Justice and AJ. are
Yes.
their names.
Big justice.
Yes.
And Big Justice is known for the chicken bake, and AJ's known for the double chunk chocolate cookie.
Yep.
And they did like these Costco reviews of items you can get there. And
They used to.
They
This
used
is
to.
why they're off the table. Now they've gone off the rails.
yeah, so they were doing these Costco reviews, and it was kind of ridiculous, so they blew up because of it. And then you've got this guy called the Rizzler, and the Rizzler
Love
is-
the Rizzler. He is not off the table.
Oh, dude, everybody loves the Rizzler. But
Rizzler.
you've got this family that was doing these reviews, and then the Rizzler, and this whole like lore kind of like combined, and now you've got this new meme and the Skibbity lore, and there's we
Yeah,
sound like
that's
idiots.
terrible too.
Yeah.
Brainrot is all terrible
Brainrot's
besides the Rizzler. He's the GOAT.
But they went from the Costco review, so like now they're doing WWE events, and they're
Yeah,
like,
they got songs. I hated them when they were doing the double chunk chocolate cookie BS in the Costco.
Yeah, when they're actually doing their thing.
You would see someone had like leaked like a staged video or like the unedited video where they're like doing multiple takes, and that was just
It's so hard
that's
to
when
watch.
I was like, okay, these guys are terrible.
these guys are the worst.
And then so the Rizzler and the Costco guys were separate, but then they merged.
They joined
and now
forces.
they're riding the Rizzler's coattails to the
so-
the win.
there's the Rizzler.
And now like they're doing all these songs. They have all these Christmas songs. The mom and the daughter have their own account now.
When did the mom and the daughter get involved? Because I haven't seen anything about
Whenever the money started stopping, I'm sure they got in there.
Now the Rizzler is this short little fat kid that just makes the Riz face, and that's why he's famous.
He's like 8 years old.
He's like 8, but he's charming in a way. That's
The
why
Rizzler has also kind of gone corporate too. Back in the
He's
back
gone
a,
corporate.
Yeah,
back in a couple
pull
months.
Up a picture of the Rizzler.
Yeah, get his little chubby.
Oh, that first
Get
picture.
his little
there
chubby
is
ass up
all of
there.
them, yeah.
boom. Yeah, there's AJ. There's Big Justice, and in the middle there is the Rizzler. My brother Brett's actually a huge fan of the Rizzler.
I like the Rizzler. Back when he was just making videos with his dad, he's still good, but I mean, he's definitely gone corporate. He's out on the Knicks court
Yeah, there he is.
doing crap. They're on SNL
He's a
or not
big
SNL,
fella, dude.
Jimmy Fallon.
Did you see
Big
the
fella.
video of?
He's huge.
He's huge.
Did you see the video of one of the guys like diving deep into his body language and describing like how the Rizzler owns the place and
Yes, that's why it's hilarious.
Have you seen those speak when spoken to memes? When
No.
like he'll be talking or like he'll be talking and then Big Justice will like say
Oh,
something.
yeah.
And it
the
just
screen
like,
goes
That's so
gray.
good.
It's so
The
funny, dude.
Rizzler's gonna like execute Big Justice for saying his real name type of thing. I am such a fan of the Rizzler that this summer my family we were going to Maine, like northeast states. We were driving through Boston trying to get a look at Fenway, and I turn my head to the right driving by, and I see who I think is the Rizzler, and I go, "Oh my God, the Rizzler. And my brother's like, no way. And then we kept going. So I was like, turn it around, turn the car around. It's a one-way road. My dad was like, what? Who is this guy? He pulled the car around.
Oh, did he actually?
Yeah, couldn't find him, but it might have not been the Rizzler. But either way,
where's he from?
I think they're all from like New Jersey.
That would make sense.
Like the dad has like a thick like New Jersey, New York like accent.
Now, is Brainrot new or has it just evolved? Because like when we were growing up, it was Vine. It was all those like stupid quotables like Pantene keeps me clean. That
I feel
sort
like
of
it's
thing.
I feel like it's worse than ever because like that stuff made sense. Now we're getting into like skibbity toilet and like mogging, mewing,
There was
all
some
that crap.
stupid crap when we were growing up,
Yeah.
like the whole like 9+10 like
21,
milk, milk thing. Like that was stupid, but it was harmless. Like all the brain rot now is like sensory overload, and it's like obviously we're watching it, but then there's some 5-year-old with an iPad just all day, every day, freaking looking at skibbity toilet. Costco guys BS, and it's just like getting them addicted with like the colors, and it's a whole thing.
I've seen a video of
jingling keys.
Some guy was like watching an episode of Coco Melon, and I think within 10 seconds there was like 13 cuts or something.
Yeah.
So it's like moves so
Attention
quick.
grabs.
Yeah, and there's like jingling keys. There's always flashing things going on because these kids' attention spans are just fried.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
My attention span's probably fried.
I think
all
of
of ours are, but we're definitely way better off than like, because our brains are still developing sort of, but we're not 5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not cooked.
So
We're a little cooked. But.
we're kind of laughing at their expense, but it is fun.
I mean, yeah, I'm not a fan of the Costco guys, but it is funny to like talk about. Like we were out there doing land navigation one time, and this guy got lost. So we had to wake up we were about to be done. We'd probably clocked like 30 something miles over the past 2 days. And this guy got lost on the final iteration. So we all had to get up and go look for him for 4 hours. And I'm out there with like 8 guys like that are in my squad. And we get talking, and we're like talking about the Costco guys, and it'd be like, if we found this guy, it'd be a big boom. Like it's just, like if we didn't find him, it would be a doom. Like it's funny, but
this guy's like lost in the woods somewhere, and just boom, boom.
Yeah.
Freaking Costco guys. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about him, but I do like the Rizzler. I think he's goofy.
What got me attracted to the Rizzler was
Pause.
what made me
Resume.
like the Rizzler's videos was he was like outside his house on his bike, and his dad was videoing him, and he was doing tricks on his bike, and he's like, a one-hander, the no-hander, and then he's like, this is the 4-leaf clover.
I've seen the 4-leaf clover.
And he just like goes like this on the bike, and the dad is like, "Oh my god, the 4-leaf clover!" Because
We've never seen this
with
before.
the thick accent, it's so good.
I've seen the 4-leaf clover.
Some of his best
There was
work.
like a bunch of BMX like riders, like they do it professionally, and he performed his tricks. So he did the one-hander. There was some other one that he did, and then he performed the 4-leaf clover.
No feet.
Yeah, the no feet. And then people are like, we went from one hand to no feet to a 4-leaf clover. They're like, where did that come from?
The 4-leaf clover, my goodness.
Brandon, could you pull up a video of him performing the 4-leaf clover?
Besides him, though, the rest of the brain rot is bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
I think
the skibbity toilet is the worst.
I think it's hilarious because it's so terrible.
Yeah.
There it is. But I think
that's exactly what the tricks he does, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's...
Wait, yes, that video.
That's this one.
Yes.
So you have any more tricks up your sleeve?
Actually, I know you guys like wanted me to do the one with the helmet. I can't, so I have 2 more tricks.
Okay.
Now, I will do the 2 tricks.
Sick helmet,
Those
though.
will be at the end. The first trick I'm gonna do is the no-hander.
The no-hander?
I mean, one-hander.
Oh, dude, yeah, we can't go to a no-hander.
Yeah, not
Oh, we
yet.
did the no-hander.
Piece of cake.
Brady, you have
Who's
any
this?
tricks that you
His
wanna
little
do?
brother.
Yeah,
That
God.
gotta
Any?
be.
He's got to be like 3.
It's okay. You're so
He wants to be the Rizzler so bad.
Oh, here we
okay.
go.
See it. Oh, one-handed. Oh, 2
I love the dad.
The
and
dad
how
makes it good.
enthusiastic he is.
Okay. I'm running with you. Go.
I'm gonna do one. I can actually do 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna do one backpedaling. Look, I'm backpedaling.
Oh, my
I love
goodness.
it.
Okay, now I'm gonna do the no
Okay, no feet.
They're behind.
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Four-leaf clover.
The four-leaf clover. Oh my God. Four-leaf clover.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, be ready.
Okay, so I mean, so the Rizzler's like 7. It's innocent. It's funny. But then you got freaking fatty Big Justice. He might be, I think he's only like 11.
Yeah, he's not much older.
That's absurd. He seems like he's 15. Yeah. But yeah.
What do you think about AJ? Because I feel like he's kind of like the same boat as like the Rizzler's dad.
In like a skin suit.
I've never seen
AJ.
it. Him.
He's always got that no bull shirt on.
Yeah, he's like a roided out, like he's just a weirdo.
He is kind of weird.
Yeah, I think I hate AJ more than Justice.
I think that's enough brain rot for today. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Teddy, it's been a pleasure. Teddy's been gone for like a couple of months. He's down in Georgia, and we won't see him till like what, next fall or something?
I'll probably come back, I think, like maybe around Easter.
Okay.
I think I graduate right around then, so maybe I'll take a couple days of leave and head back before I go to Ranger school.
Yeah, it was great. Teddy, for those who are aware of the OG podcast lore, he is a decorated member of this podcast. I think he's got the most appearances, the most time on mic.
Yeah. He's also a decorated serviceman from Amazon.
Yep.
He's had a decorated career from Amazon.
So, Teddy, it's been an honor.
Yep.
Thanks for coming
Pleasure.
on. You can find us anywhere, as I always say. So go find us and leave us a 5-star review.
Do it.
See ya.
Do it.